Dale Sprague, there he is.
Coming up next on YCN is the first annual New Hampshire Legislative Softball Classic for the benefit of Liberty House, where they work to make positive, successful changes in the lives of the brave men and women who have served our country. Today, the New Hampshire Democrat and Republican lawmakers will shift their focus from Representatives Hall to the softball diamond, where they meet here at the Anheuser-Busch Athletic Complex in Merrimack, New Hampshire. First, these opening ceremonies as we turn the mic over to the House announcer, Bill Zarakotis.
Okay, at this time we're going to have the presentation of the colors of the New Hampshire Civil Air Patrol, in conjunction with Manchester West High School NJROTC, who will present the colors for us at this time. The national anthem will be sung by Miss Lindsay O'Neill. Lindsay left the New Hampshire Army National Guard in 2009 after serving 7 years at the 157th Medical Group as their optometry technologist. She deployed with the Army for a humanitarian mission in El Salvador. As a result of that trip, she was awarded the Army Commendation Medal. We ask you to please rise, remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
At this time, Tech Sergeant Clint Yeager will sing God Bless America. Sergeant Yeager has been in the U.S. Air Force for 11 years and was almost deployed to Iran as an aircraft maintainer. His orders were pulled because he was needed for training as a space systems operator.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam, God bless America, our home, sweet home. God bless America, our home, sweet home.
At this time, will Ashley Kitchell and J.P. Marzullo report to the pitcher's mound, please. Ashley is a staff member at Liberty House. She will be in the first pitch. Throwing the first pitch. J.P. Marzullo is on the board of directors at Liberty House. He will present the ball to Ashley. A little background on Ashley. Ashley's a former athlete at Central High School in Manchester, where she pitched for the Central High softball team. Ashley later went on to pitch for Home Depot in the Building Materials League, where she compiled an impressive 1-23 record all in 1 week. In the off-season, Ashley runs her own business making styrofoam lawn ornaments, of which I am the proud owner of one of her creations, a life-size replica of Leonardo da Vinci's left foot, and I proudly display it on my front lawn. Nice job, Ash. Let him go. Summer Anderson also on the mound. She's a brewmaster for Anheuser-Busch. Treat her with care. Where's the keg? This is supposed to be fun.
Without further ado, let's join YCN play-by-play man and New Hampshire House Communications Director, Jim Rivers.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Anheuser-Busch Field in Merrimack, New Hampshire. Now that Barnum & Bailey has closed up shop, this may be the greatest show on earth. Welcome, everybody, to the legislative softball game. Red against blue, Democrats against Republicans, elephants against donkeys. But at the end of the day, the winner is the Liberty House. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Rivers. I'll be joined by a number of VIP guests here this afternoon for this first annual clash. And as we say, it is to benefit the Liberty House. The event really began as a call for bipartisanship in the wake of a national tragedy. And it was put together by a number of representatives who belong to the Veterans Caucus. There are more than 80 members in the New Hampshire House, a bipartisan group of veterans, and probably a list too lengthy to mention. But we're happy to be here this afternoon because the ultimate winner is the Liberty House of Manchester. Jack Caron from Manchester and Jimmy Gaudette from Manchester are your umpires, both veteran of just about every form of softball in the state, from Babe Ruth to ASA to USA to college to high school. Two great guys. Jimmy, of course, out on the field, he is a Marine. I hesitate to say ex-Marine because he'll be the first to tell you once a Marine, always a Marine. Hoorah, Jim. And Jack Caron, also of Manchester. And we're also going to be joined by a number of guests, starting off with the most important. I mean, this is a dream job. A brewmaster. Summer Anderson, the brewmaster for Anheuser-Busch. Great view in the background. I guess the obvious is, what does a brewmaster do?
Well, my day basically consists of making sure that we have the best quality product going out the door every single day.
And you do. These guys out on the field will attest to that. But really, thank you.
I actually brought you one as well.
Thank you very much. Obviously, great thanks to Anheuser-Busch for opening up these facilities. And you also ordered the weather, I understand. You're not only the brewmaster, yes, but you're in charge of the weather.
Yeah, it was very difficult. Managed to pull it off.
You know, speaking of difficult, Summer, it's got to be a difficulty in the industry now with all of these micro brews popping up everywhere, and there's a lot of competition for the beer drinker.
You know, I think it just all rolls down to a lot more choice, and you know, beer is good for all of us. So more beer drinkers, the more we embrace it as well. So it's actually been a really great partnership with a lot of our own craft partners, and you know, the more beer out there, the more choice, more people that are happy.
And beer and softball go together.
They do.
Absolutely. There's a number of beer leagues. And, well, we're going to pick up the first half inning, and you can obviously stay with us. Any softball in your background?
I played all the way through high school, but that's about it.
Oh, where'd you play?
I lived in Ohio at the time.
Okay. And they, would you do pitch?
No, I was actually center and right field.
We want to mention that Anheuser-Busch also one of our sponsors here for this inning of our ball game. We'll pick up the defenses as we can for the blue team, which is the Democratic team. We have the pitcher is Dan Feltus, and Dan is actually a state senator. Some may call him a ringer who was brought in, and he'll be pitching. The catcher is going to be Peter Somsich. We have Joel Martin at first, Howard Moffett, Joel Martin at first, Howard Moffett at short, Jeff Goalies at third, Diane Chewett out in right field, David Luno is at second, Dale Sprague, one of the extra outfielders, Linda Tanner's in center, Senator Kevin Kavanaugh is a short fielder, and Will Pearson is in left. And joining me, Summer Anderson, the brewmaster here at Anheuser-Busch. Summer, what is a typical day for you here at Anheuser-Busch?
A lot of it is coming in and making sure that all our raw materials are there and really great, working way through our process, checking on quality and make sure that we have the most consistent product out there. And then, of course, the best part of my day is obviously taste panel. So I do taste everything that goes out the door and every day at 3 o'clock and make sure that...
You don't drive home?
No, we do have to pass the breathalyzer. We are very safe here. So I have to do the breathalyzer before I'm able to leave.
It's a beautiful facility. I'm only disappointed we didn't bring out the Clydesdales here for this one.
We actually do have a Clydesdale.
Right.
Around back by the fence, we have a Clydesdale. He'll be here till 1 o'clock if anybody wants to take pictures.
This is Warner Horn, and Warner is representative from Franklin. And I guess it's only apropos that we lead off with a veteran at home plate. You can see the... You played fast pitch, I'm sure, Summer, but you can see the extra plate back there. If the ball hits that, it's a strike. It's kind of off the back of the plate. And a swinging strike. Jimmy got that out on the fields, and Jack Karen calling the strikes at home plate. Franklin class of 1994. Werner enjoys time with his wife, Molly, and their 2 dogs, and that is going to drop out there. Looks like a little bit of a sun field out there, Summer.
Yeah, the sun's in the wrong way for those.
I have a Budweiser in my left hand and water in my right. I mean, that's such a difficult decision.
It really is. Yeah, we're very proud to be here in New Hampshire. We have our New Hampshire state cans today for everybody to enjoy.
That is going to be an out at second base. Drop on the exchange, still an out as Werner Horn is forced. And that was Howard Pearl, who reaches first on a fielder's choice. These guys were out here, each team, some are practicing for a half hour, and I just was concerned that they left their tank empty out there.
Well, hopefully not. I'm expecting a really good game today.
Anheuser-Busch is quite involved in the community here in Merrimack.
Absolutely. We're, like I said, we're very proud to be here in New Hampshire and even more proud to be here in Merrimack, and we really love to support the community. We're very happy to be part of this event today for Liberty House, providing the field, and we do have the proceeds from our New Hampshire cans going completely to the Liberty House.
You brought up a New Hampshire can. I probably can't get it on film. No drinking on the job, by the way, if the boss is listening. I'll bring that with me. Bring it home and enjoy it tonight.
There you go.
This is, as you can probably tell, this is not a fast pitch game. This is Scully is the batter. He is the first baseman. No team can score more than 5 runs in an inning.
Well, that's a good rule.
In the interest of time here, since we don't have lights, Kevin Scully from Hillsborough County out of Nashua draws a walk, and each player will have a walk-up song. So we start out with runners at first and second. Greg Hill, the shortstop out of Northfield, probably one of the true players on this team.
He's got some good walk-up music happening.
Now, is this field used much? Do the folks here at Anheuser-Busch use this field at all?
We come out and enjoy kickball, softball, various different events here.
Well, he's got 2 runners out there. Jack Karen, again, calling the balls and strikes. As I've had a chance to work with Jack in many games. He is quite a character. Greg gives him a look. We gave them a list of people they might have to escort out of here.
Oh, man. Hope I didn't make that list.
No, not at all. Now that you've brought me up the union beverage, as they call it, we're good. That's going to be through to left field, and the runner is going to come home. And the Republicans have their first run as Howard Pearl, get him some oxygen, scampers across. Scully ends up at third, and Hill is at second base as the ball goes into dead ball territory. Is there any pressure at all on a company like Anheuser-Busch to bring out, constantly bring out new brews or new flavors? Or, it seems to be in the industry a lot of fruit flavors these days that are coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all want to expand our brand portfolio. We have wonderful craft partners that are innovating every day.
That is going to fall into, I think, off the glove of the left fielder out there. I think that was Will Pearson. That is a Sunfield. Let's give him a bit of a break out there. I didn't think he was going to catch up to it. So Scully comes across, Hill comes across, and Fothergill, a doctor from the North Country, ends up at second base. Doug Thomas from Londonderry is up next. Again, only 5 runs in the interest of time, except for the last inning, if you happen to be down by 7 or 8 runs. That should be an out. Over to first. Mark that one 6-3. And I'm not sure which one of the fielders out there. I know Moffat's at short. Kind of hard to pick up who that is. This is Matt Spencer out of Somersworth, third baseman. Certainly New Hampshire is a great place for business to set up. I know Governor Sununu is even trying to make it even more business friendly since he took office. Long throw over. Nice pick. Oh my goodness. Nice pick at first base. Joel Martin. That ends the inning. They pick up 3 runs on 3 hits, and the red team jumps out on top 3-0. Summer, thank you very much for coming up and joining us.
Very
nice
to meet you. Oh, of course. Enjoy later.
Oh, I will. Thank you very much. And we will be back with the bottom of the first inning right after this.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Lake Sunapee Visiting Nurse Association and Hospice.
Welcome back to Anheuser-Busch in Merrimack. Jim Rivers with you for this first annual legislative softball game. And I'll tell you, you could not ask for better weather here. And it's only appropriate. Anytime someone makes an outstanding play in the field, guess who leads off? That was quite a pick by Joel Martin, the first baseman. Actually seemed a little surprised that she was able to pick that up, but she did a great job. Joel is in her first term out of Milford, representing Hillsborough County District 23. Werner Horn getting right in there with a mask. Because masks are really not required in slow pitch. And our veteran pitcher, Mike Moffat on the mound. Don LeBrun chatting with Jack Caron. Probably trying to get an edge, knowing Don. All right, here we go. Our thanks to Summer Anderson for stopping by for a half inning. One of our major sponsors. Spectrum Marketing also did a lot of work. Yvonne Dean Bailey and the gang. Gary Marsh. Wait till you see the championship trophy they have. That's popped up in the Sunfield, and it's taken at third base by Spencer. So popped to third base, and now Dan Feltus, state senator, representing Hopkinton and Concord. And also represents Henniker and Warner. Lives in Concord. He is a legal assistance attorney. Great guy. Good softball player. So this good test right here for pitcher Mike Moffat. Dan is one of a couple of senators on the legislative team for the red team. Two-time world champion in clean and jerk. And he's going to be safe at first on the errant throw, so he reaches on the error. Howard Moffat. No relation. They both, Howard is from Canterbury.
Howard Moffat.
He is the shortstop.
Shortstop.
Sounds interesting to hear the walk-up music. We hope to have Jeff Nelson, the executive director of Liberty House, up here at some point. Also, Michelle Perkins, the president of New England College. You notice everybody wearing a New England College hat. They are a strong sponsor of this. Again, taken, and that should be an out at second on the force. And Howard Moffat will end up at second on the error, but there are 2 out as they get the runner going into second base. That'll bring up Jeff Goley, a firefighter from Manchester, representative.
Now batting Jeff Goley.
That's a trouble. That's going to drop in there. Will it get a run? Is Howard going to make an attempt? No, he'll stay right there as it comes into the infield. Greg Hill. Greg probably the captain of that infield out there. You can tell he knows what's going on. So base hit for Goley. Howard Moffat ends up on third. Peter Somsich, the catcher, is the batter. Peter Somsich.
Now batting Peter Somsich.
And once again, if you look at the home plate, it has that extension off the point of home plate. If the ball hits that, it is a strike, whether they swing or not. I don't blame Warner for wearing a mask. I wouldn't get back there without a mask. I don't care if it is slow pitch. Diane Schuett is on deck. You know, for more than a decade, Liberty House has been providing a safe, supportive, substance-free housing community for American veterans transitioning out of homelessness. And since 2004, Liberty House's dedicated team has helped over 200 homeless veterans rejoin their communities and regain fulfilling and independent lives. That is high, and that is a ball. We have a runner at second and third, an opportunity to got the lead to our run here for Peter Somsich, but there are 2 outs. That's ground ball. It's going to be taken, and no play. So Somsich reaches on the base hit. Howard Moffat comes across with the first run, and Goley ends up at third base. So it's a 3-1 game. And Diane Schuett out of Pembroke. Also, I might mention that Laura Pantelakis, the dean of the New Hampshire House, drove herself all the way over here to support her dame. Laura's in her 20th term. And it was nice to see Laura here this afternoon. She is the oldest tenured member. Mike Moffat over to first, and they're out of the inning, but a run comes in on a couple of hits, and we go to the top of the second inning with the Republicans on top, 3-1. We'll be right back.
This YCN segment is brought to you by M.J. Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948.
Welcome back to Anheuser-Busch. I'm not sure what the discussion is at the mound, but all the coaches are out there. Jack Karen, a veteran umpire, settling everybody down out there. And we're ready to come back here. Michelle Perkins, the president of New England College in Henniker, the only Henniker on earth, is with us. Nice to have you with us. Welcome.
Oh, great to be here.
You can look out there and see New England College hats on everybody. So you're a bipartisan institution here today.
Absolutely.
You got the Republicans and the Democrats.
Absolutely.
Both wearing your hats. Tell us a little bit about New England College. I've heard rumors that they had a pretty good incoming class out there.
We did. We were delighted to enroll the largest incoming freshman class in the history of the college this year. And we've been growing and building and very happy with all the great things that are going on.
Has to be a tremendous amount of competition for the student coming out of high school. Is there a particular niche that New England College looks for?
Well, we are a small private college, and so everything we do is on the human level, and it's very difficult to fall between the cracks. Our classes are small. Our largest classroom has only space for 40 students, but we also specialize very much in our commitment to the environment, to engage in experiential learning, and civic engagement and responsibility.
But
So,
I get an opportunity to go over there and see a lot of their hockey games, and it's such a nice little college community. I mean, it's so New England-ish. And I think when students arrive at New England College, they have to be real happy with the atmosphere, and they don't get lost like they might at a Michigan State. This
Absolutely
is,
not.
Aaron Hennessy. Mike Constable reached on the air, and now Hennessy arrived, so it's runners at first and third. But it's great atmosphere over there, it really is. And I know New England has a number of small colleges that offer that atmosphere, but at some of these larger institutions, certain students can get swallowed up. Now, Mike Moffat, I understand, teaches over there.
yes, I think he teaches adjunct, yes.
How did you happen to get involved with the softball game for Liberty House?
Well, Tom Horgan, who works for us, heard about an opportunity to sponsor, and so we offered to provide the caps because thought it sounded like a really good idea. Especially, it's a good thing to support our legislators, but given our mission too, it was really important for us to show that connection.
Well, everybody certainly has gotten behind, and there's a number of athletic programs at New England College. That's a ground ball that Feltis will play himself. So Victoria Sullivan is out, 1-3. You have a number of interscholastic and club programs over there.
In fact, we just introduced men's wrestling and women's volleyball in the last year, and they're both doing real well.
So right now we have Moffat at second, Hennessy at third with one out, a run in, and Werner Horn, the catcher. Werner out of Franklin, also represents Northfield, I believe. They're going to go home with a play. Now we have a little rundown. Moffat's all the way over to third.
Picture.
Oh, they tagged her. She's off the bag. So we end up with Werner Horn at first. And, of course, New England College has a fine softball program as well. Ben, the coach out there, works hard. And a good friend of mine, Steve Creightonberg, goes out there and works with the young ladies. Any plans at all for New England College in the future in terms of new programs, expansion, now that you're getting all of these students knocking on your door?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, next Saturday we're having the groundbreaking for our new theater, the Rosamond Page Putnam Center for the Performing Arts, which construction will actually be in the spring and be finished about a year after that. So we're very excited about that, not only for our theater students, but as you probably know, we host a lot of political forums and debates, and that will be a perfect space for all of that.
All right, now, Moffat has moved over to third base, and Werner Horn is at first. And I'm not sure what that was all about, but who cares? All for Liberty House, and ultimately they are the winners here, Michelle.
Yes.
Senator Dan Feltis is the pitcher. That is going to be a liner out into the outfield. That'll bring home Moffat, and Werner Horn get the oxygen at third base. Is Werner going to make it? Getting a little direction from the press box. Michelle Perkins, president of New England College, joining us here, and they one of the major sponsors for this contest. And this game, by the way, will be rebroadcast in a number of television outlets on Veterans Day, which is appropriate. And I know a lot of the athletic events have been live streamed, as a lot of colleges are doing,
Yes.
with live stream, some with announcing and some without. But the important thing is parents can sit home and watch their athlete participate.
That's true, and we have athletes from all over the country, so it's great to know that the families who can't get to their games can watch them on the live broadcast.
all over the country and Europe, I might add, because I remember pronouncing a Swedish player's name incorrectly and actually getting a phone call from Europe to remind me how the Swedish player's name was pronounced. I thought that was pretty interesting. Small world.
Although parents do come from all over the world to watch their students play.
Oh, they do.
I often sit down next to families from California. Of course, ice hockey, and a lot of players from Scandinavia, and sometimes the parents are there.
The batter now is Greg Hill, and we're having a change in the field. Somebody pull a hamstring already, or a groin. You understand, a lot of these people haven't played competitive sport in a number of years. Not sure which one that is. They don't have numbers. It's kind of difficult. But somebody is coming in. Greg Hill is the batter. 4 runs are in already, so it's a 7-1 game right now. When do the students, do they break soon for the fall?
Yes, now. And we have a little break, and but then we, of course, have a break at Thanksgiving, and then in early December.
We happen to have any seniors out there who might be suffering through this game. How are they going to tell New England College if they wanted to come over and take a look and view the campus? And
well, we would love to have prospective students visit any time, and they can call our admissions office. And we have tours going on all week long. We have special events, and families can visit really anytime they want. And just call us, and we'll set it up.
Greg Hill beating it out. Felt this had a notion to try and throw him out, but knew better. So the batter now, I believe, is Dr. John Fothergill. It is indeed.
John Fothergill.
Good to have a doctor on hand for this group. Just a beautiful day at Anheuser-Busch in Merrimack for a great cause for Liberty House and New England College, one of the major sponsors here. And Michelle Perkins, the president, kind enough to come up and join us for this half inning. I think they're allowed one more run, and that is it. That's going to be... Some of these guys may not want to watch this game. That is a tough sun field. That's 5 as Scully comes across. So we're allowed only 5 runs per inning in the interest of time. So we will go to the bottom of the second inning with the Republicans on top 8-1. And thanks, Michelle, to you folks at New England College for your support of this great game.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Good to see you. I'll see you over at see you at the school.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll come back with the bottom of the second inning for the Democrats right after this.
This YCN segment is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
Welcome back to Anheuser-Busch in Merrimack for this legislative charity game for the Liberty House. Jim Rivers with you with a number of guests. Again, our thanks to Michelle Perkins, the president of New England College, for coming up and joining us. David Luno from Hopkinton, second baseman, finds his team down 8-1 in the bottom of the second inning. 11 players on the field, in case you have not noticed. 4 outfielders, also a short fielder, which they pretty much have been playing as an extra infielder. So there are no numbers on the jerseys. Well, we're doing our best to identify everybody. Werner Horn has been doing an outstanding job. Some of these guys that have been used to playing some fast pitch or a modified pitch find it a different animal when that ball comes in arced like that. 2 balls and a strike to Luno. During college, Dave was a 33rd round draft pick by the St. Louis Cardinals, but he opted to finish his degree in soldering. Following a career in tech, he traded in the greasy rag for a seat in the House Commerce Committee. Good choice? Well, we'll see, I guess. But the St. Louis Card promising players just struck out. Again, it's a different animal, that arc coming in the way it does. Dale Sprague, who also Played some high school ball at Somersworth High School. Has not played in a number of years, he told me, so. The object here is threefold today. Raise lots of money, have fun, and don't get hurt. Dale Sprague is at the bat. He was kind enough to wear a jersey with his name on it. Now Dick Hinch is going out to talk to Moffett. Doing his best, he's doing his best John Farrell impersonation out here. Dick Hinch, the majority leader for the Republicans in the New Hampshire House. I'm not sure what that was all about, Dick, but I see. He's moving the defense around. You don't have to go out on the mound to do that, Dick. Dale Sprague. He was hitting some rockets during warm-up. Sprague, Tanner, and Kavanaugh are your batters here in the bottom of the second inning with the red team leading 8-1, and that is going to be popped up. And that was Doug Thomas, I believe, who made the catch. So 2 up and 2 down. Mike Moffett is spinning a gem here this afternoon. Mike Martineau, our statistician magician from New Hampshire Tech, who has volunteered his time, tells me that Moffett has a 2-hitter going. With the Tanner, the batter.
Better than this golf game.
Delta Dental, one of our major sponsors, also here this afternoon, along with Anheuser-Busch, Spectrum Marketing, BA Systems, JG Strategies, Preddy Strategies, the DuPont Group, Baruti Real Estate and Associates, and Demers, Blaisdell, and Presol. That's out. 3 up and 3 down. We have completed 2 innings here at Anheuser-Busch. The red team on top 8-1. We'll be right back.
This YCN segment is brought to you by New London Hospital, an affiliate of Dartmouth Hitchcock.
Welcome back to Anheuser-Busch. Jim Rivers with you and a cast of thousands. As we said at the open, now that Barnum and Bailey is gone, this may be the greatest show on earth. And we have to pick up the batters as they step. I believe this is Doug Thomas. Yes, it is. It's Doug Thomas. And we'll see if we can't pick up the pitcher out there. Obviously, with 11 fielders, they're changed. That's Dan Feltus still out there pitching. Feltus and Moffett going head-to-head. Democrat against Republican, but 2 very good friends off the field. That's what's been great about this whole game. It's brought everybody together in a bipartisan effort to raise money for the Liberty House. And a pretty good turnout, too. Pretty good turnout. That is a little inside. 3 balls and a strike. The catcher is Peter Somsich, who's been back there. He's brave to get back there without a mask, because all it takes is just a flick off that bat, and Doug earns himself a walk. Matt Spencer.
Now batting, Matt Spencer.
Matt grounded out to third base his first time up. He wanted that. He wanted all of that.
Yeah. A little bit too high.
Al Baldessaro is down to third base, coaching, by the way. Al is a Marine. He's done his tours in the Mideast. Has done a lot for veterans in the state. The chairman of state and federal. That's a foul tip. Runners have to be careful. You can't leave the bag until the ball reaches the plate. And if you do, Jim Gaudette's going to show you to the bench. Costable is on deck unless they pinch hit. The right team clearly has more players on their team, so Dick Hinch is going to have to work everybody in. And also they have worked it out. If there's someone who cannot run down to first base, they can bat and have a pinch runner run from the batter's box. But no one has elected to do that yet. It's a pitch by Feltus. That's popped up right side. Luno is over there. Squeezes it for the first out. Mike Costable, the short fielder.
Mike Costable.
He scored a run, scored the 4th run for the Republicans. All of these men and women will get together and have a social with the folks from Liberty House afterwards. Again, many thanks to Anheuser-Busch for opening up their facilities. It's a great view of Anheuser-Busch in the background. That's way out of play. On deck is Aaron Hennessy, again, unless Hinch makes a change. Jack Caron's probably happy to be at home plate for this game. He doesn't have to put all the gear on, just stands back there and 2-2. Former member of the House, Jack Flanagan, making his appearance up here. Probably wishes he was still in the house so he could get out there and grab that bat.
Absolutely.
You knew that wasn't going anywhere. Nice play at third, but an errant throw by Dale Sprague. So Constable reaches. Thomas is down to second. And Aaron Hennessy, who says her son Luke has tried to coach her up a little softball in the last couple of weeks. She's not a very good player, she claims. At least she's willing to admit it. So we have runners at first and second. The Republicans out to a commanding 8-1 lead here. Again, Demers, Blaisdell, and Presol, one of our fine sponsors. Baruti Real Estate and Associates. The DuPont Group. Curtis Barry and the gang over there, Eddie DuPont. Preddy Strategies out of Concord. JG Strategies, BAE Systems, Delta Dental, AMR, Spectrum Marketing, and Anheuser-Busch. All major sponsors for this afternoon's game. Hennessy went chasing for that one.
Is that why there's a lot of Budweiser around?
I can't hear you, Jack. If you want to put the headsets on, Jack, feel free to put them on. Yes, there is Budweiser. I was presented with one, but with the boss listening, I'm not going to drink on the job. So Hennessy gets a walk. Jack Flanagan, former majority leader of the House.
I couldn't resist, Jim. I had to come and watch.
There's never been a microphone that you've been afraid of, Jack. All right. This is Don LeBrun. Don LeBrun.
Out of Nashua.
Don LeBrun out of Nashua. As we're starting to work in some of the substitutes. Don still plays, I'm told. He's active in the slow pitch league.
You know who else did that was Jim Belanger.
That's
out
correct.
of Hollis.
Yep, Jim is still here. He's here, but I don't know if he's playing. Because probably taking most of the credit for the run scored will be third base coach Al Baldacero, who's quite active down there. Don is being very choosy.
He is.
3 balls and a strike. Is he trying for the walk?
I think he's got the green light here, Jim.
He's called a strike. So we got a full count on Don LeBrun. Don did a lot of work for this game too. Has supplied a lot of the equipment. Here's the payoff pitch.
Shorts up.
Well, we could have a play at second.
A drop there too. Oh, they're going home.
They're gonna go home.
You know, I heard that they tried to get this a number of years ago, but there weren't enough Democrats that were interested back in 2011.
Hennessy is at second. Costable scored. The batter is Victoria Sullivan, who hit back to the mound last time. They're going to go for 2, but someone forgot to tell the second baseman. As we said, now that Barnum and Bailey has closed up, this is the greatest show on earth. But they're having fun. It's for a great cause. Hennessy crosses home plate. And LeBrun is down at second, sucking wind down there.
Well, he's got to be, what, in his late 70s?
We don't give ages, Jack.
Okay.
I promised I wouldn't give ages.
Although, you would never know it looking at him.
No, he's in great shape and still plays actively. And Werner Horn.
Out of Franklin.
He has a couple of base hits to his credit. Scored a run, was forced at second.
He and Jim McConnell are platooning behind the plate.
Well, we haven't seen Jim McConnell out there yet. Well, the roster on both teams, the Republicans, probably 2-1 in turnout. As a matter of fact, the blue team had to bring in a couple of state senators to help fill out the roster. One of them's on the mound, and Dan Feltus, who had problem reaching the mound on that one.
Now Dan's history is legal
defense.
Legal defense, yeah.
He's my state senator.
He is out
He
of
is
Concord,
indeed.
yeah.
And one of my reps is out here playing, Dave Luno. Mel Myler and Mary Jane Walter are no-shows today.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. So the bases are now loaded, right? LeBron at third, Sullivan at second, Horn at first, and Howard Pearl with a chance to drive in three. Can't get more than 5 runs.
What has he got, 2 base hits already?
He reached on a fielder's choice in the first time. He scored 2 runs.
Oh.
Howard Moffett is embarrassed to admit that he is a Yankees fan. In his salad days,
Whoa!
as an 11-year-old member
Tag
of the
that
Little
one.
League Yankees in Glen Ellis, Illinois. Caught
Caught in the sun.
Look what I found. And there's no, they're going to double up Victoria Sullivan to second base.
Oh, boy.
All right, so
that clears the bases.
that does it.
Double
I
play.
believe 2 runs, right, Michael? 3 runs in that inning. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and it's now 11-1 Republicans.
I say to the 2 people of the beautiful land in Mount Washington Resort up in Bretton Woods. It's beautiful at this time of the year.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
Welcome back to Anheuser-Busch. Jim Rivers with you for this classic. The red team out to an 11-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. See if we can't pick up who the batter is. They're making changes on the fly here. Jeff Nelson. JP, you going to put that on for us? Jeff Nelson is the ED of Liberty House. We thank Michelle Perkins from New England College joining us here, trying to identify this batter who's going to make it to first base. Yep, JP Marzullo of the Board of Directors of the Liberty House. Well, what do you think?
I think it's great. Terrific turnout, and got a perfect day. And everyone actually seems to be having fun.
They are. Some good softball, some not so good softball. But again, we've said 100 times, at the end of the day, it's all about the Liberty House. Tell us about the Liberty House, how long you've been in existence, and exactly what you folks do out there.
So it's been in existence for about a decade now, and essentially what we do is we have, it's a home for homeless veterans, and it's a transitional home, so you should know that first of all. So what does that mean? It means that when they come into our home, we find them a job and a place to live, and then they stay anywhere from 90 days to a year. And after that time, they become valuable citizens of the community. And we service about 150 homeless a week, other than that, and we take no federal funding.
How do they generally find out about you, JP? You have a vet, obviously, who's homeless on the street somewhere in the state. How do they make a connection with you?
Yeah, so most of it's done through the VA hospitals, but you also have the Farnham Center and those types of centers that have worked with drug addiction and/or alcoholics who are now clean, if you will. And we are a safe house for them. We do not accept anyone who has an addiction. So that's one of the things that we do a little differently. If you take federal funding and you accept that money, HUD housing is great, but then you have to accept anyone into the program. And it doesn't work if you're trying to transition them back into the community.
By the way, as we watch this game, the game is secondary, by the way. We're just having fun here, talking with JP. But Kavanaugh, the play at third, the runner at third was 4. So we have runners at first and second with
there's a shot.
Joel Martin. That's catchable.
Whoa,
but
no. Maybe not.
Maybe not. So we have one runner coming across, and Joelle Martin is going to score the second run. She probably had the defensive play of the game of the first inning on a beautiful pick at first base. It almost looked like, oh, it is in my glove.
Yeah.
Is homelessness among veterans in the state a real problem right now, JP?
Yeah, it is. I think homelessness in general is, but we certainly have a lot of veterans that are homeless. We don't reveal numbers or names or things like that, of course, but there are a few. There are quite a few. And again, when somebody comes to our door, we respect them as well if they're homeless. They don't have to be a veteran, so we try to serve them as well, serve the community as well.
Howard Moffett lifts one out to right field.
And
Let's get a drop in. I'm not sure we've had a catch in the outfield yet. Feltus is going to come across from the
here
score.
we come.
And Howard's at first, and this looks like Jeff Goldie.
Yep.
And it must be nice when you look at all of the success stories for veterans that come to you and then end up back in regular life.
Yeah, it really is. Of course, we have a Veterans Day breakfast on the 11th, and this year it'll be in Manchester, and it starts at 8:30. Goes for an hour, but we have no keynote speaker. We use all of those veterans who have been successful in our program, and they come in and speak. And it's certainly worth coming to. There won't be a dry eye in the place because it really does hit your soul.
Well, this game will have hopefully raised close to $10,000 before we're done.
That's great.
And if someone out there would like to make a donation and help in any way, how would they go about it?
Yeah, the best thing to do is just go to our website. It's libertyhousenh.org, not .com, but .org. And there's a donation button on there. You can find out more about us on there. And we would certainly love to have you come by and come by the house and see what we do.
And you're located at?
75 West Baker Street in Manchester.
Rennie Cushing. Let one go by. He's up there with they've got, 3 runs in, right, Michael? Our statistician up here. So they can bring in 5 or we'd be here for a long time.
Exactly. When I first heard that, I thought, well, that doesn't seem right.
Well,
and then I thought it could be a 10-hour game if you keep going.
Greg Hill
Nice
makes the
play.
play at third, so they get 3 runs in. There's 2 outs. It certainly has been a great turnout, not only for the legislators, but some of the fans that have turned out.
Yeah, it looks great. There's a lot of young children here. People brought their families. I believe that the Veterans Caucus would like to make this an annual event. And
They still get it. Nice stretch. Jimmy Gaudette bangs it out. She can't believe. That's beautiful. So they pick up 3 runs, so it's an 11-4 game, and we've gone through 3, and nobody's been injured yet. So we'll be back with the top of the 4th inning right after this.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Harris Family Furniture in Plymouth, Laconia, and Chichester.
Welcome back to Anheuser-Busch Field. Jim Rivers with you for this legislative all-star game. And again, we want to thank Mike Martineau from New Hampshire Tech coming up and handling the stats for us. It is a yeoman's work with all the changes being made up here. It looks like Rennie Cushing, the veteran legislator from the Seacoast, is going to be out on the mound. All kinds of changes, as you can imagine, taking place. We'll try and pick up most of them as we can, as we go along here. David Binford is the batter now. David had a tryout, I believe, with the Colorado Rockies. My information is correct.
Dave Binford.
He can hit, as you can see. And that he may come all the way on that one. Let's see if he's going to test the arm of Dale Sprague. And a nice stop down there by Sumsich. So a triple. Longest hit of the afternoon. Probably in his youth, David would have made it home on that.
Greg Hill doing the batting.
Now the batter is Greg Hill. That's trouble. That'll bring in Bidford, no problem. And Greg Hill's going to take it all the way as well. So a home run for Hill. 2 runs across, Binford and Hill. Binford with a triple, and Hill with a home run. There's no one that's going to hit one out of here. This is hardball outfield, but get over those outfields, and you can look at the center fielders. I think the center fielders somewhere in the northern part of Merrimack. That's Dr. John Fothergill, who had a double in his first time up. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Only 5 runs in an inning, unless, of course, we get to the last inning and a team is down by more than 5. Obviously, they can score more. No stealing, no bunting. Snagged out there. That's the shortstop that we need. That's the play of the afternoon right there. Lining out to the shortstop, Sean Morrison joining us.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Of our cast of thousands up here. Got to be happy with the results, huh?
Fantastic turnout. Fantastic.
Everybody's having fun.
Perfect weather too.
Oh, it is perfect weather.
Yeah.
Doug Thomas out of Londonderry. Have you been in yet? I haven't.
I have not. I'm going in the top of this inning. Republicans have double position, so we're switching out at the second half of this inning here.
Quickly, Sean, how did the Veterans Caucus get involved with this game? How did you happen to pick Liberty House as the benefit of this game?
Well, actually, it was Mike Moffett that came up with the idea, and he brought it to the caucus, he being a member of the Veterans Interest Caucus. And then we deferred to, on the Democrat side, we asked Steve Shirtlift what he thought was a good charity, and he chose the Liberty House, so that's how we came to that.
Yeah, and I'll finish. I might mention, too, that Representative Shirtlift would love to be here today as a veteran, but he had a previous commitment this afternoon or this morning that he couldn't get out of. So that, but he certainly has been a huge supporter of this as well, and that's a nice thing about the Veterans Caucus. It's bipartisan.
Absolutely nonpartisan. I believe we have some libertarians here too. So I think everybody on all sides of the political spectrum have either family members or they themselves are veterans. So it's kind of this is a unifying cause. Everybody get behind veterans causes.
We just had a chance to chat with J.P. Marzullo about the Liberty House and all the good work they do down there, and hopefully we'll give them a nice check when this is all done. That
would be nice. It's a good cause. There's a fair number of homeless veterans in the state, and the transition that they do over is fantastic. So they do a great job.
Sean, as a member of the New Hampshire House, what do you see as any major veterans issues coming before the House this year?
I know there's one bill put forth by Representative Russ Ober that is going to ask for a Commissioner of Veterans Affairs. I think that's a fantastic idea. Me myself personally, I went to a interagency meeting with the governor, and he stated he wanted somebody that had accessibility and accountability, and so I love the idea of this commissioner. The idea of having a commissioner right at the table with the governor. So I hope that happens.
And of course, Russ Ober, another veteran within the legislature.
Mm-hmm.
Member of the State and Federal Relations Committee.
Yeah, his wife Lynn did also a representative, did a ton of work putting this together as well.
Yeah, we tried to talk Lynn into coming out and playing, but...
I tried to get Mary Ellen McKay to play shortstop, but she declined respectfully. She did a lot of work, too.
But, there are some here, Sean, that are not going to play, but they've got the shirt on and they're down there rooting and, don't have to necessarily get out on the field and play. A lot of representatives made donations.
Exactly.
That aren't playing.
Correct. And you actually still can, I believe. I'm not sure if you go online. I'm not sure, but
tell me
they
won't take your money if you go online.
Exactly.
Tell me, Sean, they won't take it. Oh, we're sorry, but the deadline is passed. No.
Right.
I want to make a donation to the Liberty House. And this will be aired on Veterans Day, and hopefully a lot of these guys out here will want to buy a copy just to see how good they played.
Mm-hmm. Plus the shirts look good.
The shirt looks great.
New England College donated the hats. They look nice. Very thankful to them. thankful really to all the agencies that stepped up and helped. Anheuser-Busch, BAE, AMR. It was really, I really hope that this continues and that this is an annual thing, because it's everyone's having fun, got a lot of people here, and then we're going to have some good food and drinks afterwards.
We finally had a catch made in the outfield, on the left field. I believe that's Will Pearson. That's a tough sun field out there.
It is. Practicing early, you really can't see much.
Aaron Hennessy, who came all the way down from Littleton, drove through the snow and made it down here. Yeah, that's what my next question is. What do you think of the chances of this, being the second? I always say the first annual, but a lot of work by a lot of people, and it's a big commitment, but hopefully this will keep going.
Indeed, indeed. Well, we have, I believe it's just over 100 state representatives in the caucus now, so I'm sure that...
that's 25% of the House.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Yep, so I'm sure that we'll have people step up, even if there is change. And that's why I made it a Veterans Interest Caucus, so you can have family members and stuff, because there's a lot of state representatives have sons, daughters, husbands, wives that are veterans, and they care as much about veterans' causes as veterans do.
Aaron Hennessy draws the walk, so the bases are now loaded. And it was Don LeBrun in the spot last time. It looks like it's going to be Frank Saporetto.
That Don LeBron's a player.
Yes, he is.
Played minor league ball, I believe.
And he, I believe that's Frank. Yeah, that's Frank Saporetto. Yeah, I don't recognize some of you guys without your jacket and ties on. We have some information on Frank here. Of course, Frank also a member of the state senate for a term back in the day. Yeah, this is his 7th term in the House. He tells me this is his first softball game since 1971, Sean.
Really?
Oh.
That was the year I was born.
I won't say what I was doing in 1971. I think I was in college. Yeah, I was in college.
I wasn't even born yet.
Yes, Mike, be quiet. Mike Martineau, a statistician, wasn't born yet. I have stuff in my refrigerator older than you, Michael. Rennie Cushing on the mound.
He's doing a good job.
Now, have you seen the trophy for this game? It's amazing.
I did see it online. I haven't physically touched it.
Whoa,
It's like the Stanley
Martin.
Cup.
Joelle Martin, look at her out there at first. Doesn't make it back in time. I'll tell you, she's been the defensive player of the game. Abby Marsh, whose sister Carrie has been involved with the Spectrum, painted the seal on a moose antler.
Yeah.
I think it's right behind us.
I
I'm
did
not
see
sure
the photo.
Perhaps I'm sure the folks at Yankee Cable will get the presentation after the game.
We're going to treat it like the Stanley Cup and not touch it until we get it.
Wear white gloves. You guys need to get out the white gloves. Now I'm trying to pick out who this is.
2 out, bases loaded.
It is a little difficult without all of the numbers, any numbers on the jerseys. Do we know who this is, Mike?
Valerie Fraser.
Valerie Fraser. All right. And it's amazing with 11 fielders out there that this ball still seems to find its way.
Finds a hole.
Find a hole.
Either that or it's like bumper pool.
Yeah. John Morrison is with the Veterans Caucus if you're just joining us, and they have, she's drawn a walk. And there's one run comes in. That's Matt Spencer coming in with the first run of the inning. And that'll bring up Werner Horn. I'm not sure what batting order they're using right now, but we can pick them up as they come up.
Yeah, he's the top of the order. We're going to switch after these at-bats, I believe.
Cushing couldn't quite get there. Joelle Martin makes the play. Yep, she gets my defensive award so far, no question. All right, Sean, thank you very much for coming up. It's a great job.
Thank you.
And we will do us proud out there, will you?
I will do my best.
All right, thank you, Sean.
Much appreciated.
All right, we will be back with the bottom of the inning right after this timeout.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer.
Welcome back to Anheuser-Busch at Merrimack. Jim Rivers with you for this Legislative All-Star game. And right now it's a 15-4 advantage for the Republicans. 3 in the first, 5 in the second, 3 in the third, and 4 in the fifth. Tamara Lee is the batter now for the Democrats. Tamara is from Northampton. It's her first term in the New Hampshire House. And she stands in against the new pitcher, Frank Saporetto. 7th term as a rep, also served in the Senate. And Jim McConnell, who has donned a batting helmet to get back there behind the plate for catching duties this inning. Once again, Jack Karen, the home plate umpire, Jimmy Gaudette, a Marine out there. Also a former member of the law enforcement community. Won't find two better umpires in the state than Jimmy and Jack. And they have graciously donated their time here today to Liberty House and the cause. Two balls and 2 strikes to Tamara Lee from Northampton. You're going to see a lot of switching around now, a lot of new faces out there as we move towards the second half of the game. Here's a strike 3, and Tamara can't believe it. She cannot believe it. Look at her. He says, 3 strikes and you're out, Tamara. Thank you. Now he's trying to apologize. Jack, don't apologize.
Give her a hug up. She's out.
Jack Karen. We call him Happy Jack. Dick Hedge going out for yet another visit. I think he likes the TV time. Going out to talk to Saporetto. Dale Sprague. Dale Sprague from Somersworth. One of the few left-handed batters here this afternoon. Rips that one into right field, and he'll jog down to first because he doesn't want to pull anything. And now Wayne Burton from the Seacoast. Wayne Burton lives in Durham. He can't get there, so that'll put runners at first and second. And a rally in the works here for the Democrats, who trail 15-4. See who they send up here next. Jack's still getting a dirty look from the batters as he rung up Tamara Lee. Charlotte DiLorenzo is your batter. Charlotte is from Newmarket, New Hampshire. Also serving her first term, so even some of the reps are in the house for the first year are coming out and supporting this game. Nobody out. Here's Sprague at second and Wayne Burton down at first. The trouble when you fall behind 15-4, you still can only score 5 runs. She struck out. Jack Karen is ringing him up here. Will Pearson is the batter. Made a nice catch out in left field. If you fall behind like you do 15-4, you still can only get 5 runs in an inning until that last inning. Jim McConnell's going to be a little careful reaching in for that ball. First of all, he doesn't want to get clobbered. Secondly, he doesn't want a catcher's interference on him. Will Pearson pops it up right side. This could be a double play. Well, it's the third out anyways. So they do not score in that one. 15-4 at the end of 4 innings of play. We'll be back to Anheuser-Busch right after this.
This YCN segment is brought to you by La Valley Building Supply and Middleton Building Supply.
Welcome back, everyone, to Anheuser-Busch in Merrimack, New Hampshire, the first annual legislative softball all-star, I don't know if we should call it all-star, but softball game.
Nothing but stars.
The Republicans and the Democrats. Representative Jess Edwards, who has been a strong mover behind this game with Mike Moffett and Jim McConnell and a number of the veterans, and you've got to be delighted with what's taking place here, Jess.
Oh, it's fantastic. The weather couldn't be any better. Everyone's attitudes are just great.
Your team's ahead?
Steve Hellwig.
That's Steve Hellwig, yep. Steve Hellwig. Yeah, up here with a little confusion trying to pick up without numbers, but we're doing okay. Mike Martineau's helping us out. Claire Rouliard's up here helping us out. A lot of work, though, Jess. A lot of work.
Well, you know what happened? we just started telling people that this is something we thought we ought to do, and the number of people that just stepped forward and just took over pieces of it, it's just been amazing. It's just been great, natural teamwork, unbelievable.
And this will be rebroadcast on a number of cable outlets on Veterans Day, which certainly is appropriate. Dale Sprague it short. Let's see if Joelle Martin makes the play. Oh, she drops that one. Maybe I've jinxed her. She made a couple of great plays over there. Maybe Dale has to take a little bit off the throw. Dennis Fields from San Brenton came off the injured reserve list to play in this game, Jess.
No batting, Dennis Fields.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel bad. We invited the ambulance crew here, and they haven't had any business yet.
Oh, hey, you're early yet. It's only the fifth inning.
Yeah.
Dennis, also a veteran. And I was amazed when Sean Morrison said that the Veterans Caucus is somewhere nearing 100, which is, that's 25% of the House. That's truly amazing.
Yeah, Sean and I are both new, and we're not really sure the history on why the Veterans Caucus shut down for a little while. But since starting it back up, one of the things we wanted to do was to use the nonpartisan part of it to go ahead and try to build some collegiality and some esprit regardless of party affiliation. I should mention the Libertarians in there, too. They get upset if I don't pay attention to them.
Well, they didn't have enough to field a team this year, but you never know.
Well, we may do a dart tournament next year.
And this, I'm sure you kind of got the idea from the congressional All-Star game that obviously had a terrible tragedy leading up to it, but that was really the genesis of this.
Well, Mike Moffett thought of it before the shooting event, and about a week before we started spreading it around, and so the extra attention this game got because of it, I think, was coincidental.
Wow, a couple of stellar plays out there by Will Pearson. He just robbed, is that Don LeBrun? No, who was that? Reed Panicetti. He just robbed Reed Panicetti of that one. And Reed from Amherst tried out for the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1970. Also a member of the Navy Orlando softball all-star team, 1978. So he's got some he's got some experience in softball, but Will has had a couple of great catches out there. There's a liner. Howard Moffett will step on the bag, and this is going to be a triple play.
Oh, wow.
A triple play. Did we say all-stars?
a triple play in slow-mo. They won't even have to slow that one down on the replay.
They hit into a triple play, and I'm sure we'll take a look at it again as they make the play. It steps on third and throws to second. I've never seen a triple play in slow pitch softball.
First for everything.
First for everything. All right, that's going to do it for this half inning. Thank you very much, Representative, for joining us. Great job putting this together.
Hey, thanks for having us.
We go to the bottom of the fifth. It's still 15-4. Republicans on top.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Mount Sunapee Resort. Fun for all seasons.
Welcome back. Sweet Caroline in the background. Republicans on top, 15-4. A festive atmosphere here in Merrimack. Mike Moffett, representative, joining us here up in the box. Done a lot of work with it. We just talked with Jess Edwards. We've had J.P. Marzullo up here. And you can't be happy with the way this has turned out.
This is a beautiful day. A lot of fun. Great music. Triple play by the Democrats. Who knew? And Manager Hinch, this is highly irregular for me to leave the bench to come to the broadcast booth, but
well, let me ask you this: why was he going out to the mound? What was his reason for being out there?
Well, Sprague is a powerful hitter, and so we were trying to decide if we wanted to walk him, or of course we shifted to right field, and
okay.
Yeah,
you had the big poppy shift on him.
Exactly, very dangerous hitter.
Just Joelle Martin has impressed me. She's made a couple of nice plays at first.
Yeah, and just missed out on several others.
Yeah, and Will Pearson's done a great job in left field. They've been the two defensive players.
Oh, tough sun. Howard Pearl was playing left for us and told us it's tough sun field. Like right field at Fenway, tough sun field.
Well, Joel draws a walk. Mike Martineau, I know you work with him at the Tech. He's done a great job here.
Mike Martineau is as good as they come.
And Dan Feltus, Senator Dan Feltus, that's skied. That's right into the sun. And it's in and out of the glove.
Like we just said.
Is that Howard out there?
That's a...
No, that's a Republican out there. So I'm sorry.
That's Hellwig.
Hellwig, Steve Hellwig. Yep. Yeah, they've made so many changes in the lineup. But this is Howard Moffett at the bat and Don LeBrun.
Howard Moffett and I represent the same district.
Moffett and Moffett. In fact, didn't he beat you by one vote in a recount or something?
Nice
double play.
In 2014,
looks like Ryan Smith down there third, I believe.
Yep, Ryan Smith from Northfield.
Yep.
Howard actually looks like he is a player. He's looking good out there.
Ryan Smith makes me feel old, but I used to coach softball with his grandfather.
Oh, my.
This is turning into a softball game is breaking out, Mike. I want you to stay with us for another half if you can.
Sure.
We'll be back for the top of the sixth, still 15-4. Red team on top.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Lake Sunapee Visiting Nurse Association and Hospice.
Well, I hesitated to use the word all-star, Mike Moffett, but we've seen a triple play. We've seen a 1-2-3 innings. This is turning into a softball game.
Well, most of the players are well rested. Some of them haven't played in many years.
Yeah, since 1971.
Great to see Wayne Burton beat out a hit. He's a colleague on Education Committee and Vietnam veteran. So he's 70-something years old, and he...
See, we promised we wouldn't give out any ages, Mike.
Well, okay. He's a Vietnam veteran, and we'll leave it at that.
Yvonne Dean Bailey standing in against Dale Sprague, who is pitching.
Yvonne did a lot of work for preparation for this game with T-shirts, with the program. So I hope she gets a hit because she deserves one.
Well, you got to be impressed with the work of Al Baldessaro coaching at third.
Yeah, Al is a wily veteran.
He has been a turnstile over there.
And he's very conservative about sending runners around the corner.
Dale Sprague. And that's long out to Feltus.
Feltus is a star. We have to, if they had a couple more Dan Feltuses, they would really be tough.
Yeah, if is the biggest word in the English language.
There was some controversy because, as you may know, he is a senator.
Yes, he is. This is Ryan Smith taking it third. Wow, Howard Moffett to Martin. Two outs. Wow. The Democrats are saying, can we start this game over?
They should have gone to Sprague earlier.
They should have gone to, well, they should have. I'm not sure what they should have done, but all right. This is Sean Morrison we just had up here chatting about the Veterans Caucus.
Yeah, Sean's the head of the Veterans Caucus, which is, as we know, is the sponsor of this event.
Well, hopefully, I know it was somewhere around 7,000 earlier in the week. Hopefully it's up closer to maybe 10 before we're done.
Yeah, that's what our hope is. We had a lot of reps send in donations to be in the program ads.
Mm-hmm.
North of 7,000 coming in.
And it's not too late if you'd like to donate to the Liberty House. It's never too late. Oh, he wanted all of that. The home plate umpire, Jack Karen, told me, you talk about people not really playing a lot of softball, but Representative Tamerlay, who struck out on a called strike, looked at Jack and said, how can I strike out? I didn't swing at it.
Whoa,
oh, there's a shot. That one. Will Pearson's not going to catch up to that. But is he going to try for two? Yeah, they're going to bring it into third instead. I've been impressed with Howard Moffett. He's a good-looking player.
Yeah, he's a colleague. He's from Canterbury, I'm from Loudon, and the two of us represent Merrimack District 9. You're asking, 2 years ago, I finished in a tie for the second seat with George Saunderson, and I lost the recount.
Okay.
But then I came back and won in 2016. So Howard Moffett and Michael Moffett are the two reps from Merrimack.
No relation, though.
Not.
I'm not sure what.
Howard gets asked that a lot, and I do too. And he thinks there's some horse thieves back in Scotland back centuries ago where we have a common ancestor. It's hard to confirm that.
I'm not sure about this delivery by Sprague, but
it's very unconventional. And
we got Joel Martin at first. Looks like Dave Luno at second. Howard Moffitt's at third. Who's that at shortstop?
Dan Feltus.
Dan Feltus.
Senator Feltus from Concord.
Also represents my hometown of Hopkinton. And he draws a walk, so runners at first and second.
Don LeBrun, I was just told, is a friend of Cal Ripken, and his knows the legend, the Hall of Famer Cal Ripken very well.
Mm-hmm. Cal Ripken has done a lot for youth baseball as the Cal Ripken Baseball League. Part of Babe Ruth Baseball, has done a lot.
Don is a wily veteran, and he's up there making the pitcher throw to him, taking 2 strikes.
Jim Rivers along with Mike Moffitt, and we are currently in the top of the 6th inning. The Republicans jumped out quick, 3 in the first, 5 in the second, 3 in the third, and 4 in the fourth. They were shut out in the 5th. That'll be a grounder to Feltus. He'll go to third with that one to Moffitt, and they're out of the inning. So they have shut down the red team for 2 innings in a row. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and it's 15-4 Republicans.
This YCN segment is brought to you by M.J. Harrington & Company, jewelers and designers since 1948.
Welcome back to Anheuser-Busch as they announce the 50-50 winner. We're back here with the bottom of the 6th inning for the Democrats. Not sure who that is out there. Is that Allison Nutting? I'm not sure. It's tough with the sunglasses. And Don LeBrun is now pitching. And Ed Butler. Down from the North Country. There's some confusion out here as to what's happening. Oh, she wasn't supposed to hit. They should give her first base anyways, Michael.
I think so.
She earned it. Oh, pinch runner?
No, she took a swing when the ball was, they were doing the 50-50 rally, and Dawn pitched, and she got a hit, and now it's not going to count.
Okay, that was it. So that was just a warm-up, Mike. I say they should still giving it to her.
I agree. Of course, it's easy to be generous. If this was a tie game, I would have a different position on that
sure
issue.
You would. And I'm nonpartisan up here, so.
Yes, there are white nonpartisan shirts.
I have one.
And with purple, white with purple, perfect for nonpartisan.
Jim McConnell chasing the ball down behind the plate. Wise and wearing a little protective out there for his head. Don LeBrun. As they say, the best umpires are the ones that you don't notice. Jimmy and Jack have done a good job here. No controversies.
We should invite them to the post-game social, I think, Jim.
Well, no. Have you got enough food to invite Jack in?
They're bringing 2 different carloads.
Well, this blue team has only 6 more outs. Next inning, they can score as many as they want. And there's a strikeout. Now Ed Butler will stand in. Eddie drove down from the North Country.
Ed Butler at bat.
Swinging away.
He's from
aggressive.
Hart's location. This is his 5th term, representing a whole bunch of towns.
Hart's,
Albany, Bartlett, Chatham, Conway, Eaton, Freedom, Hales location, Hart's location, Jackson, Madison, and Tamworth.
That's almost a gerrymandered district, I would say. The shape of that. Of course, Hart's location does not have a lot of folks that live in there.
Oh, he went after it. Because you can't hit it and stand on home plate either, Ed.
You get 2 strikes for that swing.
That's strike three. A couple of strikeouts for that wily veteran out there, Don LeBrun. They brought him in as a closer, apparently, Mike.
Yep, Dick Hinch taking no chances, bringing in his closer for the last couple innings. The wily veteran Don LeBrun, who's actually provided all kinds of softballs and equipment for practice and for the game today.
And all of this to support Shannon Chandley up there. All of this to support the Liberty House. Now you have a special guest making an appearance in the state now. You might want to talk about Mike.
Yeah, I know this is going to come on the air on Veterans Day, but a friend of mine, Fahim Fazli, Hollywood actor, he's been in Iron Man, Argos, American Sniper, on and on. And in a big movie coming out in January called Horse Soldiers, about a true story about Afghanistan. But he was a Marine interpreter I met in Afghanistan. And we strike there.
Yeah.
We did a book after we came back from Afghanistan on his life as an Afghanistan refugee, Hollywood actor, Marine Corps interpreter, Fahim Fazli.
Got a piece of it. So it's 2 strikes on Shannon Chandley.
Shannon is one of my Democrat counterparts who spent some time helping to organize the Blue Side, and really appreciate Shannon's help doing all that.
Represents the folks of Amherst. I'm amazed at the reps who, the reps that live around here, Amherst, Merrimack, Nashville, they're going to come. But they came from Colebrook, and they came from Hart's Location, and, all over the state. And there's a swinging strike three. LeBrun shuts him down, so there's only one more inning to go. We go to the last inning, 15-4. Republicans on top. We'll be right back.
This YCN segment is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
Well, as we return, you can hear the background, what they call a little beatboxing by Representative Josh Moore, entertaining the fans between.
What a talent! What a spectrum of talent you'll find in the New Hampshire House of Representatives.
And they won't hear this at Fenway Park. This quality beatboxing, like they hear. Good job, Josh. Lindsay O'Neill and also. Did the national anthem to start the game, did a great job. And Josh Moore just did the beatboxing. Josh is from Merrimack. All right, here we go.
She'll donate it.
Top of the 7th for the red team, Victoria Sullivan. Dale Sprague still on the mound. Dick Barry has been coaching for the red team at first base. Al Baldessero. And this stellar infield of Moffitt, Feltis, Luno, and Martin has been impenetrable the last 2 innings.
They've really picked it up. They now that they're warmed up and all that, that's a tough infield. Howard Moffitt really looking real good at third base at the hot corner.
Well, since the red team put up 4 in the top of the 5th, we have not had a run score. Rumor has it the blue team wants to start over. Sullivan a swinging strike. And again, we want to thank our sponsors. We thank Summer Anderson, the head brewmaster, for coming up and joining us. Anheuser-Busch. Michelle Perkins, the president of New England College, came by. Sean Morrison from the Veterans Caucus, but also Spectrum Marketing, AMR, Delta Dental, BAE Systems, Feltis, over to Martin. Yep. Preddy Strategies, DuPont Group, JG Strategies, Baruti Real Estate and Associates, Demers, Blaisdell, and Praisol. Anytime you have a reason to do business with these folks, make sure you thank them for their support of the Liberty House. Jim McConnell, the batter. Jim says he played back in the day, but he hasn't been able to find the touch again yet.
He said it's been about 40 years or something like that, but at batting practice at our undisclosed location the last couple of times out, he's been whacking the ball.
Luno comes in and whispers something to Sprague. That's a shot.
Like I just said.
Yep.
Well, Jim is going to be a happy man at the post-game reception.
Is he going to go for 2? He is. He's not going to go for 3. Wow. Jim McConnell.
That's the red helmet man.
That's the catcher.
Jim, of course, interested in the Speaker of the House situation and probably energized and adrenaline flowing.
Probably. Nice hit for Jim. Red team would like to get a little insurance. Sprague, oh, why doesn't he go for the first? Jimmy Cadet says in time, safe. So first and second, he had the easy out at first.
He did, but you can tell he's a player, Representative Sprague, because he's trying to hold the runner at second and then get the runner first.
You're up 15-4. Take the out. Get the out, Mike.
Well, as it turned out, they should have gone straight to first.
Exactly. And this is Dave Binford. This is a dangerous character to have up here with first and second. That's why you take the out.
Dave Binford, who I guess had a tryout with the Colorado Rockies in 1993.
Pops it up. Feltus is under it. One out here. And again, it's coming in a much different arc than when you're playing modified or fast pitch.
You would know that, Jim, is a softball guru and longtime umpire. In fact, you spent time in Florida, right?
I did, down in the hinges of hell. It was warm. It's Reed Panacity.
It's a World Series of
softball.
Softball.
Favorite softball. 8s, 10s, 12s, 14s, 16s, and 18s. Even had a team from China this year.
2 outs.
All right, 2 outs, and then we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th and the last ups for the blue team. And that's popped up.
Run.
And caught. Wow.
Rennie Cushion with the play.
We have had a softball game breakout here. We have not had a run scored since the top of the 5th. Welcome back. The last chance for the blue team right after this.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
All right, welcome back for the bottom of the 7th inning. 15-4, the Republicans on top. Jim Rivers with you for the final inning. They can only score 5 runs an inning until this inning. And now they can score as many as they want. Don LeBrun is out there, and he's going to give the ball to Frank Saporetto, who will come in as the closer. Mike Moffitt, Representative Moffitt, joining us here.
Well, my spouse, Beth, won the 50-50. And
yeah, but it's not 50-50 in your house. You're not touching any of it.
Well, she's donated it back to the cause, so
well, that was very nice of her.
Proud of her for doing that. I don't know if that's the decision I would have made, but I probably would have in the end.
Oh, you would have had all kinds of pressure to give it back.
I
think most everybody here would have.
I agree.
You know, and at the end of the day, we've had a lot of fun. We've poked a little fun at some other players, but they're all here for the Liberty House, and it's just been a great afternoon. And as you're watching this, I hope you enjoy it. It's been fun to be here, and maybe we can do this again next year, Mike.
Yeah, we'll see. Nobody's been hurt. If we can survive one more half inning, it's been fun, and we've raised some money and gotten to know each other better. So I think it's a win-win-win. Plus, you were here. It's 4 wins, Jim.
I had a great time. I would come back again and again. This has been a great afternoon for great cause. Dale Sprague now, they need 11 runs to tie it. That's and they have not scored since the 3rd inning when they put up 3 runs. Pitching has taken over. Frank Saporetto. There's a shot. Ooh. Oh, that's going to be fair, too. That is way out there. He can crawl home. Never mind the cutoff. There will be no cutoff on this one.
Yeah, he is a player.
Sprague might be able to run twice. Dale Sprague. Get him some oxygen.
Second home run of the day.
He touched the wrong home plate. No one's going to notice it. You're supposed to touch the one in the front. So if anyone notices it, he could be out. But I'm not going to say anything. I think the home plate umpire saw him, though.
Well, I saw it from up here in the booth, Jim, and I may yell down for an appeal, but maybe not.
Laura Pantelakis. Oh, that's Jackie Callie-Pitts is out there. Laura Pantelakis, was nice to see her here. The Dean of the House made an appearance. Jackie Callie-Pitts, secret weapon.
Wearing a nonpartisan shirt.
Jackie Callie-Pitts out of 4.
So it's now 15-5. Jackie Callie-Pitts in her 11th term, representing wards 1, 2, 4, and 5 in Portsmouth. That's great to see, to bring both sides together for an event like this. I mean, you're too young to remember the days of reps getting together at the old Highway Hotel for
I've heard stories.
For a pop. That was my first job as a busboy, 75 cents an hour, Mike. Working for the Mrs. Raven at the Highway Hotel. But that's what they do. They'd all, you disagree and debate and vote and then go down to the Highway Hotel and have a pop.
I think the more that we can do stuff like this and talk, get to know each other better, it's only good.
Laura Pantelakis, the dean of the House, her 20th term is going to stand in. Jack Karen, home plate umpire, is going to do a little coaching, which could be problematical, knowing the way he swings the bat. Laura Pantelakis. Oh! Almost.
Shortstop Reed Panacity playing in.
I don't know why. She's liable to drive it by him.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, to be honest.
Yeah, Laura is in her 20th term. Member of the Criminal Justice and Public Safety. Oh, Jack. Jack could be in trouble if he rings her up.
Caught the corner.
They may chase him out of town if he calls her out on strikes.
He's got integrity. He's got integrity.
Oh. That's 3.
Jim, I'm going to head down below.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
To shake some hands if this does end. But Jim, thanks for being here. It's great to have YCN and you, and hopefully we'll do it again.
Well, it's not over yet, Mike.
Well, just in
not
case.
Not over yet. All right.
Whoop.
All right, Dick Hinch is making a pitching change.
Something's happening here.
Who's he bringing out? Don LeBrun is coming out. He's the closer. It's a 15-5 game right now. How many outs we have, Mike? 2?
2 outs.
Mike Martineau has been our official scorer from New Hampshire Tech. Does a great job over there for Coach Finnegan and Coach Stillman. And they're going to have quite a team in the spring, aren't they, Mike? You're not going to use that, Mike? You all set?
Yep.
All right. Will Pearson, who's made a couple of nice grabs out in left field.
Yes, he has.
Falls onto him right now.
Foul.
It is foul. Oh, they're calling it fair. And that should be your ball game. 15-5. That's 3? Yeah, that's 3. 15-5, the final score. But again, Liberty House of Manchester, the winners. We thank the Veterans Caucus. We thank our sponsors, Anheuser-Busch, Spectrum Marketing, AMR, Delta Dental, BAE, JG Strategies, Preddy Strategies, DuPont Group, Baruti Real Estate and Associates, Demers, Blaisdell, and Prasol. And I'm sure the folks here at Yankee Cable will show you all the festivities afterwards and the presentation of the championship antler. We hope to do this again next year. Thank you all for tuning in. Michael, thank you for scoring for us today.
You are welcome. It was a pleasure. Great cause. So cannot wait to do this next year. Couple of improvements and it'll be just fine.
Jim Rivers saying so long for now from Maribek, but stay tuned for the presentation of the championship antler.
At this time, we direct your attention to the home plate area, where the presentation of the trophy will go to the winning team. Manager Dick Hinch or J.Q. Board member at Liberty. J.Q. shot that antler himself. He got that here himself. Let's see it. Also, Anthony Kaposa.